I'm proud to announce the plays of our 2009-2010 season. We kick off our season with a joyful, celebratory play written by the greatest playwright of all time. Since it was first produced in 1596, this has been one of the most performed pieces of dramatic literature in the English-speaking world. I'm thrilled to personally be directing William Shakespeare's most beloved comedy, a celebration of love, community, and the power of theater, which is perfect for audiences of all ages. And it's going to provide enough high energy to open both our new season and our new home. On October 24th, we'll launch our inaugural season at the Wiley Theater with a play about a group of young lovers who rush into a magical forest and fall under the spell of passions, potions, and a team of mischievous fairies. A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is sponsored by Gibson, Dunn, and Crutcher. Our second production is the return of a family holiday tradition, a musical that will once again delight and charm audiences of all ages, and which will be presented for the final time at the Kalita Humphreys Theater. Featuring acting company member Sean Hennigan for the first time playing the role of Ebenezer Scrooge, A Christmas Carol is the perfect holiday treat for the entire family. Our third offering is a world premiere of a brand new musical, right here in Dallas, created by some of the most exciting artists working on Broadway. In this sassy new musical comedy, Lysistrata meets High School Musical, giving a 2,000-year-old play a hilarious contemporary spin. Okay, as you may remember from your classes on ancient Greek literature, Lysistrata was written by Aristophanes in 411 BC. Now, its story is about a woman named Lysistrata who convinces the women of Athens to withhold sexual privileges from their husbands until the men negotiate a peaceful end to their ongoing war with Sparta. The women's strategy ends up setting off a battle of the sexes, and lots of sexy Greek comic hilarity ensues. But in this new hilarious pop musical, things are a little bit different. Composer Louis Flynn, whose musical The Winner was presented at Lyric Stage several years ago, playwright Douglas Carter Beane, whose award-winning hit plays include The Little Dog Laugh and As Bees and Honey Drown, and director-choreographer Dan Connectus, whose work on Broadway includes the musical Xanadu and the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, have updated this classic Greek comedy to a contemporary American college, Athens University, where the school's basketball team, the Spartans, have not won a game in many years. So one day the head cheerleader, Lysistrata Jones, gets fed up with all this losing and convinces the rest of the cheerleaders to just say no to the basketball team until they start winning. Ultimately, everyone is surprised to discover that when they stop having sex, they end up finding themselves and falling in love, after some surprising plot twists and turns and lots of great singing and dancing, of course. The production will utilize the flexibility of the Wiley to transform the entire theater into a basketball stadium filled with dancing teenagers and catchy new pop songs. Premiering here in Dallas, this could be the major new comedy event of the American musical theater season. A new musical called Give It Up. No one holds a mirror up to human nature like the brutally honest, brilliantly hilarious playwright and filmmaker Neil LaBute. For the past decade, his scripts and screenplays have redefined the dialogue of contemporary America, paying special attention to our romantic relationships and our obsession with physical beauty. This March, Dallas Theater Center will produce 3 full-length plays written by Neil LaBute, performed in rotating rep on alternating nights by a single company of actors in the Wiley Theater's intimate studio theater, where every seat is just a few feet from the stage. The 3 plays will include 2 of the most talked about hit off-Broadway plays of the past decade, The Shape of Things and Fat Pig. They'll be rounded out by the regional premiere of one of LaBute's newest plays, which we'll announce the title of in September. This promises to be a rousing, razor-sharp look at ourselves, and a high point of the Dallas theatrical season for audiences who want to see smart, edgy, relevant, contemporary theater. We're calling the trilogy the Beauty Plays. Next, we present a production of one of the greatest achievements of 20th century American drama. Since its premiere in 1949, there's never been a time when this play has not been performed somewhere in the world. It's been produced on 6 continents. It's been made into multiple films, broadcast multiple times on television, revived continuously on Broadway, and been studied at universities across the world. Its central character is a little man with modest dreams, who's fired at the age of 63 with no pension and a mortgage not yet paid. Exploring the gap between fathers and sons, the tragedy of misplaced ambitions, and the rightful definition of the American dream itself. This play speaks of human dilemmas and human truths, and it continues to have the power to speak to us and to move us today. Join us next April, when for the first time in Dallas Theater Center's history, we will create a production of Arthur Miller's seminal classic, Death of a Salesman. Death of a Salesman is sponsored by Charles Schwab and Gardere Wynn Sewell. Our season ends in June with music, energy, and joy. The final show of our season will be the world premiere of a new, revised version of a wonderful but largely forgotten Broadway musical from the mid-1960s. With its original great songs by the legendary musical theater team Charles Strauss and Lee Adams, whose Broadway hits have included Bye Bye Birdie and Annie, this comic book-based show will now have a brand new script written by the ingenious young playwright and comic book writer Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa. We will be thrilled to welcome these amazing writers to Dallas to create this brand new version just for us. With singing, dancing, colorful sets and costumes, a glorious Broadway show, score, and flying, this musical will move faster than a speeding bullet and delight audiences of all ages. There'll be nothing mild-mannered about this action-packed show, featuring Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and the Man of Steel himself, facing off against a team of supervillains in a thrilling new version of a musical called It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, which is sponsored by Vincent and Elkins. We're eager to bring the Wiley Theater to life with this outstanding season of plays. Season tickets are available immediately for our first year in the Wiley, and they can be purchased by calling our box office. I look forward to seeing all of you at the theater. Thank you for being here today.